It's 6 in the morning and the rowing team from Jacobs University is training for a competition in just a few days. They'll be competing against another private university. There are high hopes that the regatta will be the beginning of an annual tradition. We've been following some of the students, including Yetunde from Nigeria, who's finishing her studies in biochemistry. Jan from Germany is studying social sciences. And Devashish from India is enrolled in the logistics program. He has a meeting coming up with a company executive that could prove important for his future.
Alright, so basically this guy Ingo Kramer, as I said in the email, he's this big fellow in logistics. So firstly, it's very good for contact building because he provides internships in Berlin and stuff. So,
But first, Devashish will have to convince him that Bremen's logistics students are among the best in their field.
The meeting has been arranged upstairs, so should we go? Excellent, thank you.
Ingo Kramer is the head of a Northern German Employers Association that represents 300 companies in the metalworking and electronics sector. Devashish is president of the Jacobs University Logistics Club and has invited Kramer to visit the group. He hopes that Kramer will be able to help him and his fellow students line up internships with attractive companies.
Gain a broader perspective of what logistics is about.
Later in the presentation, Devashish brings up the subject.
Would you have any suggestions as to what sort of companies we should focus on, or where exactly should we go in our application for internships?
Though Ingo Kramer's interested, he can't offer any concrete openings. Nevertheless, he's come away with a positive impression.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good time here. Guys?
One day the students will have jobs all over the world, and when they look back and think of Bremen with its logistical network, then Bremen will profit from them, along with the entire German exports industry.
We ended up doing a good job. I think Mr. Kramer was quite impressed.
Yetunde also wants to make a good impression with a research project for her immunology course. She spent months working on it, and she has to hand it in soon in written form.
And then afterwards you get a chance to improve it if you want.
Okay.
So I can go through it, and I will, typically the way I do it is I print it, and then I write my little
comments.
Yetunde's findings are part of a larger international research project.
We really need this piece of work.
Big viral infections like AIDS and SARS, they're going to look at this research because it's explaining the fundamental phenomenon of how they're able to actually infect cells in a human body. So yeah, it is quite important and very fascinating that I'm actually involved in this, huge project.
And so then the alternative way to do this now would be to transfect the DNA into the cells.
How can organizational processes in business be optimized? That's a central question in logistics. And now it's time for Devashish to apply the skills to his own life. An important exam is coming up, and Devashish has set his sights on the top score.
Of course, if one studies and if one understands the concept, then you can get a 1.0. It won't be the first time I'm getting one, but yeah, it's difficult. But I need to study hard now.
Yetunde ought to be working hard on her research, but right now she's giving African dance lessons to her fellow students. Yetunde is still making time for one of her favorite activities. She says she continues to learn new things from the others.
Like my friends who are Indian, they dance a lot of Indian dances. It's very graceful, probably a little more graceful than African. When you see their hands, they're very graceful. So that grace, I would like to incorporate it into my own personal style of dancing. 3, 4, 1, 2, we're happy.
Jan, meanwhile, is busy making his own plans. After helping work on development projects in Africa, he now wants to raise funds for the good cause here on campus at Jacobs University.
goes together with better social capital and
The money we collect will go to specific projects like an orphanage or school, and they'll receive the funds directly.
Next time, you'll see Jan's unusual idea for bringing in donations for Somalia. And Yetunde has a surprise experience when she meets a Nobel Prize winner. And we'll also show you who wins the big rowing tournament.